Hello everyone and welcome to our NFL Playoff Predictions podcast / YouTube video. So today we'll be covering the NFL playoffs that are about to happen this weekend with Wildcard Weekend and through my predictions of the NFL playoffs. Starting off on our Saturday matchups, we have the Texans and the Chargers. So some pretty interesting teams playing here. You have to really look at these two teams in the regular season to see how this game is going to go. The Texans started off really hot, performing to last year's levels. The offense was looking great, but a couple of injuries to Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, CJ Stroud started playing terribly. Their offensive line's not protecting him very well at all. And for the Chargers, they've been playing well all season. They really haven't been beaten bad in many games. The only game that I really thought they performed poorly was against the Buccaneers in Week 16 when they gave up 40 points. But I think the Chargers come out with not really an upset in this one. They're actually favored in this game by 3 points. And I'm not surprised by that. I'm actually going to go for the spread and for the pick of the Chargers. So I think they're going to win by a touchdown at least. I don't think this is going to be a very close game. I think the Chargers move on to the second round, the divisional round, pretty easily against the struggling Texans squad. And then our second game on Saturday, which is on Prime Video. Hopefully you guys have Amazon Prime so you can watch this game. It is the Steelers and the Ravens. These two teams are fighting it out, duking it out really for that final division spot in the AFC North, and these teams couldn't have two different types of seasons. The Ravens have looked strong in every game, losing only a couple games, and all of those games are really close. Steelers, on the other hand, started off so hot, but they've been tumbling the last few weeks, and I think they continue to tumble here. Ravens. I think the Ravens win pretty easily. I'll also cover the spread here. I think the Ravens win by at least 10. And I'll move on to the next round. Starting off on our Sunday game, January 12th, we have the Broncos and the Bills. And a lot of people think this is going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a much closer game than a lot of people think. The Bills, obviously, they're the best team in the AFC in my opinion. I think they're way better than the 1-seed Chiefs. I think they're way better than the 3-seed Ravens. And obviously the 4-seed Texans, the 5-seed Chargers, the 6-seed Steelers, and the 7-seed Broncos. I think they're way better than all of those teams, and I think the Bills win by a touchdown. I think Bo Nix plays really well in his first playoff game. But he throws an interception on that final drive that prevents the Broncos from tying the game up, and I think that's what propels the Bills to a round 2 game. Up next, we have the Packers and the Eagles on Fox. That's at 4:30 on Sunday. And this game is going to be tough. I think this is the hardest game to pick this week. And it's just really tough because the Eagles look so good, but the Packers are one of those gritty teams in the playoffs. We saw it last year when they absolutely demolished the Cowboys, on last season in the playoffs. Absolutely demolished them, not even close really, and we just really saw that, and I feel like that could happen again, but I think Saquon Barkley is too much for the Packers to handle. I think the Eagles win and do cover the spread by 5.5 points. I think they win by 4.5. And our final game on Sunday night, it's another tough one, but I think this one's a little more easier to pick. I think the Buccaneers are the much winner team in this spot. They beat them back in Week 1, but obviously the Commanders are a much different team now. They've looked a lot better. I've watched a lot of their games. Jalen Daniels is going to be Rookie of the Year. He's thrown the ball a lot better. He's run the ball well. He's not forcing as many turnovers as he has. And he just looks really good the last few weeks, even though they haven't been producing at the level they were at the beginning of the season. And I think because they're not producing at the level they were at the beginning of the season, the Commanders struggle in the first half in Tampa. Can't get used to the crowd. And the Bucs take advantage of that and have a good first quarter, a good second quarter, really build out to a lead that the Commanders can't catch up to. And I think the Buccaneers move on to the divisional round with that win. So next up, we have final game of Wildcard Weekend. is the Vikings and the Rams. This game's tough because Minnesota is expected to win by 1. That is how close the spread is right now. It is very close, a 47.5 total points scored line. And this game's just really, really tough because the Vikings have looked great all season long. But how are they going to respond to losing that terribly played game against the Lions and have to go on the road all the way to the West Coast to a place that isn't really getting the best weather right now, to the Rams on Monday night too, and performing at a level where they just lost? So I think, honestly, the Rams win this one. I think the Rams win this one pretty easily too, and that would set up some pretty interesting playoff matchups in the divisional round as we head on. So that would set up a playoff matchup like this in the divisional round. The Ravens would play the Bills, the Chargers would play the 1-seed Chiefs, the Rams would play the 1-seed Lions, and the Bucs would play the 2-seed Eagles. So for those picks, I have the Chiefs beating the Chargers. I think the Chiefs are just too much to handle for the Chargers. They've had a couple close games this year, really tight games. One of them, the Chiefs won the division on a doinked field goal. Then next matchup would be the Lions and the Rams. I think the Lions win this one easily. The Lions are the best team in the NFC by far, and it's just not really even close at all. And then we have the Bucs and the Eagles, and this is really a toss-up because the Bucs have an outstanding running defense. The Bucs beat the Eagles early in the season. Yes, they were banged up. They did not have A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, but they stopped Saquon Barkley for most of the first half, allowing the Bucs to get up to a big lead. And I think that's going to happen again. Jalen Hurts is not very good when he has to throw the football. Yes, I know that sounds weird as a quarterback, but when he has to throw the football a lot, he's not very good. And I think the Bucs upset the Eagles and move on to the NFC Conference Championship. And then this one is going to be one of the best playoff games ever. It is the 3-seed Ravens against the 2-seed Bills. And I think the Bills win. The Bills, as I said earlier, the best team in the AFC. Their offense is unstoppable. Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league. There's so much good about the Bills, and I think the Ravens are just going to have too much to handle. And then our conference championships would be the Buccaneers and the Lions, and the Chiefs and the Bills. Where have we seen this one before? The Bucs, I think they lose to the Lions. I think this is where their miracle run comes to an end, and they've just had a great season. Baker Mayfield was cooking, but I think the Lions will be too much for them, and I think the Bills easily stomp over the Chiefs. The Chiefs are not great this year. So that would set up a Super Bowl like this. The Bills and the Lions. Two teams who have never won a Super Bowl, about to play in their first Super Bowl in a while. Bills first Super Bowl since the 90s, the Lions first Super Bowl since the 60s, I think. And these two teams, they're really fight for it. And I think the Lions win the Super Bowl. The Lions are the best team in the NFL this year. I've talked about it a lot. I think the Lions are the best team in the NFL. My picks earlier this year. But I really do think that the Bills are going to lose another Super Bowl. I mean, the Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon St. Brown, they're all just too good. And the Lions are my Super Bowl champions this year. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Ravens or even the Chiefs again. But I think the Lions are the only team from the NFC who could really win the Super Bowl. So that's going to do it for our playoff predictions podcast. I was just going to do wildcard, but I decided to go into the rest of my picks. I hope you guys enjoyed, because I did. Hopefully my picks come to fruition. We will see starting on Saturday at 4:30, again, with the Chargers and the Texans. I hope you guys watch the games, because playoff games are unbelievable. I've been to a couple. It's an unbelievable experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next